What's up, fellow savages? Thank you so much for checking out the video. I wanted to share something really incredible with you because I think it's important as Christians we remember how important prayer is and how bold prayer can be and how God is still in the prayer answering business. I don't know if all of you know, but some of you I'm sure know, me and my family are building our dream house on our dream property right now. We have sacrificed a lot to get to this point where we're building this house. Part of that sacrifice was moving my family into a camper on the property while we build our house. Sounds like a good idea. I can promise you, if you can avoid it, you don't want nothing to do with it. It is horrible. If you've ever lived in a camper, or if you ever even went on vacation and stayed in a camper for a week, you can, like, by the end of that week, you know how it's getting pretty freaking tight, right? So I got 2 kids and I'm married. We got a dog in there. It is ruthless. And every step of the way, guys, this has been a nightmare. From the time we tried to pull the permit to the foundation to the framing, everything has gone wrong. And I will skip forward and get you to where I'm at right now. The framer we had was like, it's going to take me a little bit longer to do it because I have another project, but he sounded great. We liked him. We gave him the job. He did about 85% of the house and then just ghosted us. Stopped calling, stopped showing up. It was a nightmare. Well, I live in Florida, and as you can imagine, a house that's half built with water pouring in, what happens? Mold, right? So the inside of the house is covered in mold. So now I'm in a situation to where the house is 85% framed. I'm covered in mold. I need a framer, and I need to get rid of this mold. And I call mold specialists. They come out, $10,000 to remove the mold. I'm calling all these different framers. No one wants to do the job. No one wants to get on a job that someone else has started and get into someone else's mess. Then I finally get a hold of someone who will. He comes out and he quotes it as if he's starting with nothing but a foundation. Like, the house is 85% done. It's almost there, and he wants the whole price as if he's building the house from scratch. And I thought, golly, now I got to come up with 10 grand to get rid of the mold. And I gotta come up with the money to pay this framer. So, bad situation. So Monday, work was slow. I decided to go ahead and go home, cut the grass, weed eat, whatever. And while I'm there, I go into the house and I start to pray. And this is where something incredible happens. And I want to give God the glory. So I'm praying to God and I'm just asking God. I'm praying boldly. And Christians, we forget how powerful prayer is. Sometimes we think, well, God's not going to answer that, so I'll settle for this. I'll pray for this because that's just too extreme. Guys, when you pray, pray boldly. Pray that God moves mountains when you need mountains moved. So I'm in there praying and I just ask, I'm like, God, I need you to remove this mold in Jesus' name. And I know a lot of you are rolling your eyes right now, but this is facts, right? I'm telling you what happened. I said, God, I need you to remove this mold. In Jesus' name, whatever it takes, just please take this mold out of this house. And I need a framer. I need someone to show up. I've called everybody. I don't know what else to do. I can't find a framer. I need someone to finish this house. We need to get moved into this house and get out of that freaking camper. So that was on Monday. On Tuesday, I have a mold specialist show up to get a second opinion. He goes through, he tests it, does the same thing that the first guy does, and says, no, everything's good. Every house, every new construction house in Florida almost always has mold. He said you can spray it if you're worried about the discoloring to be on the safe side, but the kind of mold it is, it's not dangerous. It will just dry up and die, and it won't have any harmful effects on you. Wow, incredible, right? So I'm texting my wife and I'm telling her about the mold situation and about the framer and how we still don't have a framer. And she's reading my text messages out loud apparently. And this guy named Mark, who is one of the biggest contractors in my area, he only does really, really big projects, several $1-million homes or like Walmarts and stuff like that. And he overhears my wife and he asks her, so what's going on with your house? So my wife begins to tell her all these issues we're having. And he said, well, I'm going to go out there tomorrow, see what needs to be done, and we'll see what we can do. So he comes out on Wednesday, checks out the house, and figure out everything that needs to be done. And he says, you know what? I'm going to take care of you guys. I'm going to have a crew out there tomorrow morning, which is today, Thursday. I prayed on Monday. And by Thursday, everything was taken care of. After several months of trying to do this on my own, calling every framer I can think of, getting several mold inspections, 3 to be exact, and trying to do everything on my own, I failed. But then when I finally gave it up to God on Monday, pretty much everything was taken care of on Tuesday and Wednesday, but there is someone at my house right now finishing the house. Monday to Thursday, everything taken care of. And I did not realize it until last night at midnight. I'm usually up pretty late. I'm laying in bed, about to go to sleep. It's 12 o'clock at night. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that worked out perfect. I don't know, everything just fell into place. Not once thinking to myself that, hey, that was a God thing. Mitchell, that was literally your prayer. The exact thing, the same thing you prayed for is what happened. Then it hit me. Holy crap. I don't think I've ever had a prayer answered so boldly, so quickly, right in my face, and I didn't even see it for the first 2 days. So I think it's important that first we remember that prayer works. God answers prayer, and we need to pray boldly. And two, it's important to realize that when God does answer prayer, we need to give him all the honor and glory for it and recognize that and tell somebody about it. I just wanted to share that praise report with y'all. Hope you got something out of it. Y'all stay savage, stay prayed up.